Hello humans, Master DinnerFlax here, and today I'm going to be going over a deck profile of another Destiny Hero Fusionish deck. Yay, I've been on these too much. Okay, so let's go into it. I actually recorded this once already, but I did a bad and made it really bad, so let's try this again. So 2 Blackluster Soldier because we got chaos shit in here. Yeah, and then we got 3 Malicious, 2 Celestial, probably the reasons why I'd ever play Destiny Heroes ever in anything ever, and why I even like them. Set up for draw 2. Like, every good card in Destiny Hero has something to do with draw 2 cards. Uh, the Disc Commander's banned, of course. Uh, okay, so we got 3 Malicious, just recurring fusion material. Celestial Draw 2 setup, also fusion material. Dreamer and Dasher I went back to because of their graveyard oriented effects. Like, the whole thing now is I really want cards that have some form of value in the graveyard. And Dreamer is a negate attack in the graveyard. Whenever your opponent attacks a Destiny Hero monster, you can summon it out of the graveyard. And that attack, it's not negated, but it's nulled. Like, the monster can't be destroyed battle, and no battle damage is taken from the battle. So it really sucks against Glad Beast, but who gives a fuck? And then we got 1 Dasher. It was a little bit better with Plague Spreader in here, but Plague Spreader started clumping and it wasn't helping that much, so I took it out. This deck is like an hour old. There's a lot more testing I need to put into this, but as of right now, just 1 Dasher because it has graveyard value mainly. Then 2 Diamond Dude. Diamond Dude's actually really good in here because of all the normal spell cards. And the fact that you get to activate them for free, and sometimes even without cost, like a Poly, you don't have to pay the Poly. Destiny Draw, you just straight up draw 2 cards. You don't have to activate the Allure, but you still have to banish, of course. Then 1 Plasma. 95% of the time, you never summon him or use his effect. He's just a D-draw target or a fusion material, but when he comes up, he's probably the best one to have. Just Thousand Eyes Restrict, Skill Drain, very, very, very solid. For the Empowered Warriors, 3 Light, 1 Dark. Dark is just really a fusion material, but you can always grab stuff out of your graveyard if you actually really need it. Because fusion summoning doesn't need face-up monsters, so you can just grab like a Malicious out of your graveyard by discarding and then fuse. Always nice. And then this gets to search everything in your deck outside of Dasher and BLS, which includes this card as a one of, and I'll explain it at the end of the video, a combo you can do. 3 Vion, because I don't play the recycling plant anymore, I gotta get Poly somehow, and there's a very good way to do that. Then 2 Shadow Mist. It turns your +1 Vion into a +2. We got 3 Allure, 3 Destiny Draw, 3 Empowerment. This is probably the whole focus of the deck. The attack boost is actually extremely important. It makes, because all the Destiny heroes, they're really weenie, like really weenie in forms of attack. So like 1700 on 1900, 1100 constant recursion, 1900 beater, 2400 tribute summon, just like 1800s everywhere. All your cards become just that much closer to getting you to a game, and it allows you to play Dystopia without it. It makes your Dystopia a literal Trident. Polymerization as a 3 of because you just want to see it at this point. 2 Twin Twisters, 2 Terraforming Regeki, and Rhoda. And yeah, that's the main deck. Not a lot of testing, so it looks pretty elementary right now, but it's only got an hour of testing in it, and it's been pretty cool. The extra, Too Dangerous, always a fantastic card. I like playing. Get to make Beatrice with it, and you get to set up for a Celestial on next turn for a free draw 2. Every good Destiny hero in the games has draw 2 on it. And Dystopia does that 1600 burn most of the time with Celestial, or sometimes just regular burn. But with empowerment on the field, you get to make it a Trident. And one of the combos is you normal summon Vion, send Shadow Mist, search any Destiny hero. Usually, if you don't have it, Malicious. Empowerment. Discard Malicious. Special summon this from deck. Banish Shadow Mist, search Poly, banish Malicious, summon Malicious if you have another Destiny hero in hand. Fusion summon, and if it's something like Celestial, that's really good. But if it's not, you'll just do a 800 burn for Malicious. You have this and this on field. You're going to activate Dystopia's effect, destroy this. End phase is going to get a search. And at the end phase, this is going to go back to 3100 for a Trident on your opponent's turn. Do the rest of what you need to do if you have extenders, and then end phase, search Effect Veiler. So on your opponent's turn, you will have Regeki Break and Effect Veiler. And it's like really shitty zoo, and I love it. Yeah. I'll say these two rank 8s are usually done with BLS and stuff. BLS and the Fusion. You only make it if you somehow couldn't OTK with both of those. Blade Armor Ninja, solid slot, especially with the empowerment. Castel, Direwolf I actually like a lot because it frees up your extra monster zone, which I'm always a fan of cards that do that. And it just fits really well in here because you get a lot of materials up. Utopia package, solid. Beatrice, like I said, this is only used for setup. You don't have any disruption for it, so yep. And 2 Decode Talker, just because I don't like one of them gets strike. Like I said, a lot of this deck right now is just completely elementary looking. And for the side, I don't really have a side deck, but I have been trying this card out lately, and I really like it. So, Ruthless Denial. It's a really bad card in theory. Send one monster you control to the graveyard, and if you do, discard one random card from your opponent's hand. Except it doesn't say discard, it just sends. Because Dark World, okay. So in theory, this card is bad because it's a -1, of course, and it's a spell card that's not searchable, so it's just a win more luck sack thing. However, what I've noticed a lot is, first off, I'm a sucker for hand control cards, and I love having any hand control cards in the game. So yeah, that's a thing. But also, it clears up monsters that you play that are fairly worthless after they've used their effect. A perfect example is Beatrice, Vion, just like, there's so many stupid things. It's like, a perfect example is, what's the word? It's like, oh, fuck. It's words. You tribute a malicious. They're not using, because there's a lot of combos in here that you just still have another malicious in deck, but you can't use it. So you just banish it out, and tribute it. Discard out of your opponent's hand. A Vion that's worthless, a Beatrice that's worthless. Just tribute them all off. Discard a card from your opponent's hand. They get to play with 5 cards now, and it's so in theory worthless. But clearing out your extra monster zone or getting the maximum value out of your cards, I find so cool. And that's why I'm testing this card. But we will see. We'll find out more in the future. So that's about it. Thank you all for watching. Not much else to say. There's still a lot more testing that needs to go in this other fusion deck I'm playing. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all for watching. And remember, Master DinnerFlax will take your soul.